Welcome back to an exciting video, and what we're doing today is we're going to learn to play Beth by Kiss. So let's jump into this. I've been doing a lot of guitar stuff lately, and I've been dying to get into some piano stuff, and you've seen that I've started my theory lessons. And this goes right in line with my theory lessons, and this is why I thought it would be a good time to insert this piece of music right here. So on that note, let's get this thing fired up and get going. So, and pardon me, my chair will squeak from time to time, and you will hear that. I need to grease it up. So here we go. So we're starting Beth, and this is where we're starting at right here. So on the left hand, we got a C, G, C. On the right hand, we got a G, C, G. All right, so I'm gonna play the intro for you, and then we're gonna break it down. That is the entire intro. So in our left hand, we're going to play a constant C pedal through this. But every once in a while, I actually will throw in that G note on top of it. And you can hear it in the song. Now, the way they do it, I've changed it a little bit because I sing this only with me and our piano when my band is playing. I do this solo, so I've changed it just a little bit. So the way that they play it though, this is one of the changes I've made. They start off the same. Now right here they go. They have the C in it right here to where I go back to this F because it gives me a better sense of melody when I'm doing it that way. And so the way I'm going to teach this is going back to that F. Because we're playing off of this G octave, now we're playing off of this F octave, and it just sounds better having some all that room inside of the chord. So now let's break this thing down. So we're going to go back to our C, G, C, G, C, G. Pretty complicated, huh? So we're going to play the whole thing at one time. And then on the right hand, we're just going to come back. We're going to play the C, the G, then the C and G again together. So we got G, C, C, G. Just those two notes. And then after we get through that, we're going to walk that up one time, G, C, G, and this is going to start our first walk down. Now, when we hit that first walk down, the notes we're playing are G, F, E, D. But when we hit that G, we also want to play the C, because the C is kind of our tonal bass. So what it sounds like to that part. Okay, now once we get to this D right here, and like I said, we're still on the tonal, we're still pedaling the C throughout this whole section. So we have this little walk down. Now right here is where I play the F octave. And what I'll do is I'll play F and A, reach up and hit that F, then I'll hit the F, then the A and F on the top. Again. And then right here is where we still got the C. And right here is where we're going to start our little walk up, which is this. We still have the C on the left hand, but the walk up is B, G, C, G, D, G, F. Now you can throw that extra G in there if you want to. Which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really doesn't matter. And once we get back to here, then this whole section repeats over again. So we're back at the G, C, G. Back to the F. Okay, now when I hit this F here, on the left hand, I bring this G in right here to kind of just fatten the entire chord structure up. And then now we're going to make a change off of this section right here. On the left hand, your thumb is going to go down to B. Your pinky's still going to stay on C. So it's going from here to here. The right hand is going from this F-A-F octave. And now we're going to a D, G, D. So it sounds like this. One more time. And now this brings us into the body of the song. So I'm going to play the intro again really slow. Now we're into the body of the song. All right, so here's where things get really interesting. If you saw my video where I was talking about chord structure and inversions. So if you did see that on the top, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go back and watch it because that's going to apply heavily right here, everything that I was saying in that video. So this song is going to start off in the root position of C. Now, if you remember what we were talking about in that video, there's only 3 ways to play a C on a piano. You have your root position, your first inversion, and your second inversion. So you got root, position 1, position 2. And that's going to come in heavily on this song because since I don't have any type of orchestration or anything going on, when I'm singing this song, I sing it. I try to keep my melody lines on top of the chords. And like I said, if you haven't seen the video I did on chord structure, you seriously need to watch that because this is going to break down exactly what I was talking about here. And if it sounds a little echoey in here, I'm a little sorry. I'm still working on this room. You can see I've done all this behind me here, but I've still got the other side to go. And I don't have all my mics and stuff set up because this is where my boom mic will actually be in here, booming down right here to catch my vocals. So right now I'm having to use my recorder here, as you may or may not be able to see. So moving on. So we're going to start this with a C in the root position. In the root position you have C, E, and G. We are stacking thirds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we have a C octave on our left hand. So this, I'm going to play the first section for you. Now, when they do this in a song, and like I said, I've had to make changes because I'm one guy playing one instrument. So in the song, because they do have the orchestration, they actually go. And that's it. But when it's just you and a piano, you got to kind of keep it moving a little bit. So I do it this way. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. So, and to give you a sense of the melody that I was singing over the top of that. So we have the C, root position. We have C, 2 keys, C, 3 keys, F. We have C, and then right here, we are going to move. And like I said, if you remember our positions, root position, first position, second position. And an easy way to remember that, second position, you always have these 2 fingers are always separated. You can see you have 2 and 2. These 2 are playing, that is second position. If you can just remember 2, 2, that's always second position. This is always first position because your root is on top. Then of course you have your root position. So if we do this again, and right here, we are going to go to first position, D minor. This is a D. We're going to move the root to the top, D minor. And now we're going to go to first position, E minor. So again, root, and you can see how I've added in some notes. And if you notice my left hand, I'll go, just to kind of give me a little bit more sense of melody in my bass line. And a lot of times when I'm doing this, you'll hear me, or I'll rock between these notes just to keep it moving down on the bottom. And you can hear all the pickup notes that I'm adding. And all I'm doing is I'm playing inside the same chord, as you can see. And it's the same thing every time. Okay, now right here, now what they do in the songs, they go, we're not doing that. Like I said, one piano, one vocal, one guy. So to keep things moving, we're going to play this in arpeggios coming down, and we're going to play this in second position to the F. So to play the arpeggio, we're going to play C, A, E, A. Then we're going to play B, G, D, G. Then we get to our F, which is C, F, and A. And it sounds like this. And that helps keep things moving under the vocal line. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. And right here is where me and the boys have been playing. So, and right here, when we go to the G, we're also going to change to first position. But the whole time on this F and G, we're keeping this F bass line. Check this out. And what I do is you'll hear me hit the G 2 times, just to kind of, like I said, to kind of fill up some dead space instead of just going and just make it sound as big as I can with one guy. So to that part, to that F. And that's where I double stab the G right there. And it helps fill up under the vocal line. So to this point, this is what we got. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys have been playing. And sorry about the vocal if I'm flat or anything, as you can hear, hoarse as hell. My allergies are just wearing me out, so if I go flat, I apologize for that. Oh, I had my voice just cracked right there. So that's what we got to there. So we got the and then right here, we're going to jump. I'm going to play through that part for you so you understand what's coming up. When we get to this part, okay, now we're going to make a big jump back up top. When we go to the E on the left hand, we're going to jump back up to the second position on the C, to the second position with the C. And this is where it's very, very, very cool. I like this. Now, we're going to keep this E bass note going here. And now we're going to play the C. And now we're going to play an E minor suspended fourth. So let me break this down for you. So here's our E minor. And here's our E minor suspended fourth. But we're playing an inversion of this E minor suspended fourth. So since we're playing E minor in first position, because this would be root first. We're playing, here's our third. We're playing the suspended 4 in first position. This is the first inversion. And then this is pretty cool. We are going to add, if you play in the key of A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I got a video coming up on this. The 5th degree of the A minor scale, if you play that as a dominant, it adds a tremendous amount of power to your music instead of playing it as a minor. So check this out. So we got the E. And right now we're playing the E major. We're playing the dominant 5th of the minor scale. Well, we started this in C. That is correct. We did start this in C. Now the key of C, which is, what's the relative minor? If you don't know, watch the last video. The relative minor is A minor, which is no sharps or flats. But if you notice, the way we start this song, this does have a C tonality to it, but the song has a very sense of minor off the A minor, the way it sounds. And that's why adding in that dominant 5th off of the A minor sounds so powerful in this case. But if you want to look at it like we're playing out of the 3rd, which is totally fine, then you can say, okay, this is a dominant 3rd. Because in this case, in the key of C, C major, D minor, E minor, and we can say that this 3rd is dominant. But the video I got coming up, we're going to talk about dominant 5ths on the minor scale. It's going to be very cool. Regardless, we're playing this E major here, and it's making this chord dominant, and it sounds very, very good. All right, so to that point, check it out. And of course, if you pay attention, you can hear me, just throwing in that. And you don't have to do that, throwing in that B on that E. You don't have to do that. But like I said, it just kind of keeps my bass line moving a little bit. And where we're at vocally is, okay, we're going to move on to the next part. And where we're at vocally is really going to, I just can't find the sound. Okay, right here, we're back in 2nd position. Okay, now right here, this is what I was talking about in the video. Now you can play this. You can play it that way, but I like to keep the sense of melody on top. So, and that was all done in 2nd position until we got to the D7. Okay, so let's go over the chords first. So coming out of that passage, we got an A minor, 2nd position, G, F, E minor, and then we have a D7. All right, and here's the beauty of piano. We could play this same section if we wanted to, like this. All from root position. And it will work. We could play the whole thing from 1st position. And so on. But I try to keep the melody line on top when I'm playing piano. This is what I'm talking about, and this is why you must understand inversions. Key point right here. And like I said, this is exactly what I talked about in my 2nd video of theory. So, in the vocal line of this part, just a few more hours. So, this is what our vocal line is based off of, and that's why I'm playing this in the 2nd position, because he is singing off of the 3rd. So if we play this in root, and you can hear how that fifth is on top and kind of taking over the dominance of that sound. And you can play it that way and it would work. But vocally, it's going to strengthen your vocals and your pitch, keeping your third, your melody note on top. Just a few more hours. Now right here, second position. Right here, when I go to the F, A minor, G, when I go to the F, I go back to the root position because now I'm singing off of my fifth. Just a few more hours and I'll be. So now I'm singing back off of the fifth, and I want to keep that fifth on top, and this is why it's essential to learn inversions. Just a few more hours and I'll be right home to you. And then right here, when we go down from this F in root position to the C minor, we're singing off of the fifth again. So that melody line is off of the third. And then we jump to the fifth on the melody line. Then of course we have the D7. So now, like I said, you can play this whole section. You can play it all in root position, first position, or second position. But I always try to keep my melody on top of the song. So I'm going to play the whole thing to this point right here. Just the vocal line, not the intro. Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't come home right now. Me and the boys have been playing, and we just can't find the sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear. All right, so now we're ending that section on a D7 in root position. Now again, in this key, D is a minor, but we're playing this in major because it, like I said, it gives a lot of power to the song and given that dominant sound. And I've got a video, like I said, coming up on dominant. It's going to be really cool, and you're going to want to see that one. All right, so right here we're playing that D7, and we're playing this in root position. A standard D would be here, D, F sharp, G. So if we count this out, we got our root, third, fifth, sixth, seventh. So that makes that a D7. Now you can play it this way if you choose to, but since our fifth is a perfect harmony over the C, a perfect fifth over the C, we can leave that fifth out and just play the seventh here, because our third is what denotes, obviously, if our chord is major or minor. Because if I'm just playing this, you have no idea what I'm playing. That could be major or minor. But if I add the third, you obviously hear the major tonality and the minor tonality. So we can leave that fifth out and just play D, F sharp, C. So coming off of this part, so coming out of that, now we're here, and now we're going back up to this F, and of course I'm playing the F, C, F in the second position, but we have this little walk up right here. So we're coming off the D7, so what our chords are here are, we got the D7, we're going to do this walk up to the F with the left hand, and this is an F, second position, G second position, A minor second position. So what that sounds like is that clip there, A flat there. So a D7, F, C, F, A, G, D, G, E, A minor, E, A, C. All right, so we're going to play this, And then right here, let me get you to this part so you understand where we're at. Just can't find the sound. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear them calling. What can I do? And that's where we're at here. Now we're going to do this in the second position. Now you can come straight back down. What I do is I play the inversion. And that's why I wanted to do this, to get you used to inversions. So we're coming up in the second position. Now we're going to go back down, and the chords are A, G, F, G, C. But we're going to jump to the first position, A minor. And for a couple of reasons. One, to thicken up the tone, to get rid of some of these high notes up here. So we have our A minor, which is C, E, A. We have our G, which is B, D, G. We have our F, which is A, C, F. Back to G, and then to C. Now, if you notice, when we're going from this G, it's a very easy transition to get from here to here, because we're already in position. So, and that's another reason why I play it in the first inversion. Then we're back to the C. And then the whole song repeats itself again. So, I'm going to play that whole first half for you. Here we go. Then it goes on to the second verse, which is the second verse, same as the verse. Beth, I know it's empty, that our house just ain't a home, 'cause I'm away somewhere else, and you're always there alone. Just a few more hours, and I'll be right home to you. I think I hear them calling. So you got the two verses. Now after the two verses, where it goes into the instrumental section, where it brings out all the strings and stuff, and obviously we do not have that. So if you're doing this as a solo performer, you could actually just cut that part out and go straight to the ending. But if you don't, the chord structure is exactly the same. It'll go back and repeat the intro. Going into, like I said, the big instrumental section. You remember coming out of the first section, out of the intro, where we had our first chord change here, where we went to the C, B, and then we got the D, G, D. And then we're going to go down one more. Your thumb is going to move down to the A, and then your right hand is going to go C, F, C. So it's going to be... So that sounds like this. Now right here, you can just sit there and you can just play through it. Because it's all the same. Or you could try to add in a few notes. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll play in the second position, and I will always reach up and grab that octave above it, just to add a little flavor into it. Now when I go to the E minor here, I'm actually grabbing the 7th on that. So if I'm playing the A in the 2nd position, remember 2, and then you have the 2 between the thumb. It's an easy way to remember 2nd position. So if we're playing the 2nd position, this is our C right here. This is our 5th. I'm going to reach up on my pinky and grab that 5th. Then we go to the G, grab that 5th again, which is the D in this case, to the F, to the B. Now right here, when we go to the E minor, I'm going to switch back to root. So I can grab that 7th, just to give it a little bit more, a little more tension to it. Because 7th chords are just beautiful. And that opens up the palette a little more, so we're not just hearing the same thing over and over, you know, root 5th, root 5th, root 5th. So it's going to give us a little more sound to it. Then we'll go back to the D7. But I'm going to show you what I do a lot of times. So like exactly what I was just talking about. And I will walk that up a little bit. So I'm going to play that again exactly how I would do it. But I'm going to do it slow for you. And right there's that 7th. So we got the A minor in 1st and 2nd position, A minor, 1st position, 2nd position, and like I said, I probably should have said this a little early in the video. If we're playing A minor in 2nd position, if we just keep moving down, we're playing the chords straight through, and since we're playing the keys in C or A minor, there's no black keys unless we're playing the dominant. In that case, which the black key becomes an accidental. So we got the A minor, G, F, E. In this case, I go to root position. Then we got the D7, back to the F, G, A. And again, that part sounds like this, the way that I play it. Then when we do the quick stabs down, we're playing the same exact thing. We're just changing the position. A minor, G, F, A minor, G, F. We're just playing it in 1st position now. Now you can play it in the 2nd position, but it just sounds more powerful when I play it in the 1st position, when we're putting the root on top. And like I said, coming off of that G, it lines us up perfectly to jump right back into that C. All right, so now we're at the end of the song. So the end of the song is basically, we're going to cut everything very short and we're going to wrap this up. The nice thing, the easy thing about the song is it doesn't change. It's the same thing every single time. There's no bridge per se. So going back, you know, the Beth, I know you're lonely, and I hope you'll be alright, 'cause me and the boys. Right here is the only place it'll change. So we're back to the C, holding the C bass hand, play the D, E with the C. Now we're going to do the arpeggios like we did earlier. Now right here, instead of going to the G with the F like we've done every other time, we're actually going to go to the G in the 2nd position, and we're going to move our bass hand up to the G also. The reason I stay in the 2nd position is because I want to keep it sweet sounding. I want the higher note on top instead of the bassier, powerful notes on the bottom. Now going to the end, he plays the same thing, except for at the very end of the song, you play the intro. The part where he goes the all night, the part where he's holding that out. So this is what the whole thing will sound like. Beth, I know you're lonely, and I hope you'll be alright, 'cause me and the boys will be playing all night. Now right here, to end the song, we're going to do the same thing we did going into the instrumental section. Right here, we got the C, and we're on the F, A, F. We're going to move the thumb down to the B. We're going to play D, G, D. We're going to move the thumb down to the A, and we're going to play C, F, C. And then we're going to end this out on a C. Just like that. Now you can't play that C root. But the problem with that is it puts the fifth on top, and we don't want that. We want our tonal center on top, so therefore we use inversions. Now what if I did that in the second inversion? Now we get that third on top. It just doesn't sound right. So we'll go back to the first inversion and put the root on top. Brings in our tonal center. That is Beth. It's a great song. It's an absolutely fantastic song. So on that note, I hope you learned how to play Beth. I hope you learned literally how to play Beth. And I hope I didn't go too fast for you, because it's really weird because, you know, I taught music, but 95% of the people I have taught have all been guitar. And so I hope I'm translating well to the piano. And because sometimes, you know, when you're teaching, you tend to forget that something that might be easy to you is not easy to others. So if I didn't explain it well enough, please let me know, because it's I got a lot more stuff coming up on the piano, and that was a lot to cover in one video, because normally I would break things down into separate segments. But I just wanted to kind of squeeze through the whole thing since we've been doing the theory class, and this is directly related. These inversions, that's why I did this video, because this is directly related to the last video I just did on chord structure. So that's why I wanted to get this one up and cover the whole thing. So hopefully we did not move too fast. So also, please subscribe to my channel, and please check out my Patreon page. And for those of you who may or may not know, or you probably don't know, years ago, I started a YouTube channel for video production. Really didn't do anything with it. I started, put up some videos. I mean, I was just learning how to turn a camera on, and I thought I knew everything in the world at that point. So I put up some really bad videos. But I've kept the channel this entire time, knowing that at one point in my life, I was going to reactivate that. So I'm actually reactivating that channel. And that one is actually TC Taylor. And then I got Trace Taylor, which is mine. And then I have my podcast, which is closed-minded, but if you're not political, just don't even go there, because it is politics. It's not only politics, but a lot of it is, because the whole world's just closed-minded right now. And so if you're not into politics, don't check that out. But I will have the TC Taylor one. I'm opening it back up. I redid the banners and stuff on YouTube last night, so I will be posting back on that channel on video stuff, on editing and all that. And actually the first video I'm doing is why I am leaving Premiere for DaVinci Resolve. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my video that I put up, how I built my podcast room, and I mention it in there. So that will be going up there also. And one last question for everybody who sees this. I need to know this answer. I was going to combine my video production with my music channel. And I've had a few people say, do it. There's a bazillion music channels out there. So do it. Do something different. So I'm on the fence about that, because I don't want to, keep everything music going. Then all of a sudden all this film stuff comes up, and then my music people get disinterested. So if you have any opinions on that, please let me know. I'm actually going to put this also in the description. Please let me know. Should I do the other video channel and do that video channel only, or should I combine the two? Because Lord knows it'd be a lot easier to combine the two. But I do have the other one active, and I am going to get it fired back up. So on that note, like the great Sammy Hagar says, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. Whatever instrument you play it to the best of your ability and practice, 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 and practice those inversions. They will help you musically. It's infinite possibilities at that point. Learn those inversions. And until the next time, rock on.